Hi, my name is Zoe. I'm the Tipsy Psychic. And I'm still sick. I'm still kind of struggling with my voice. I feel like it keeps going in and out. So I'm not going to make this video too long. I'm going to try. Today I'm going to talk about the compatibility between a Aries Taurus Cusp and a Gemini. We're on to Geminis, guys. This is gonna be a crazy ride, and not necessarily in a good way. When things are cool and easygoing, you both are happy. And to the rest of the world, you come across as this cute couple. Distance yourself a lot. If you want things to last, you're going to have to recharge. And it may be really hard to trust each other, but you really have to try to be open. When you first meet, they will come across as very exciting. You both are very focused on emotions. You know how to care for each other. And even though you might be at odds a lot of the time, when one of you needs the other, you will be there when it comes down to it. When it comes down to it, they will run to your side. They will show you this compassion, even if you just had one of the worst fights ever. Somehow, when you're together, you make a huge impact on the world. It may be hard to stay focused when you're trying to problem solve. You need to really focus for things to work out. But it can be easy to take on your serious side when you're trying to work things out. But you need to try to be fun. You need to try to still brush things off and joke. Keep things lighthearted. A lot of the time when your Gemini's upset, they may not really say what's really bothering them. It might seem like they're upset at you, but they're actually projecting. You might find yourself doing this too, but you'll have an easier time fixing it than they will. You might feel like you're constantly fixing their messes. 1 minute things are going amazing, and then the next, everything is just falling apart and messing up. You guys are getting along so well, and then suddenly your feelings go crazy. This is often a very karmic relationship. It's like you've known each other your whole life, maybe even past lives. Like you guys were meant to meet. It's like you guys just get along, like there's a connection there. Somehow you magnify each other's confidence, but it will get to the point where it's so easy to get upset. They'll know exactly how to get under your skin, and you have to not let your emotions get the best of you. It will be so easy to get angry and to let those mood swings take over. But you need to try to stay grounded because it will only get worse when you get upset. You need to be careful of coming across as too needy. You might have a lot of requests for them and expectations, and that's not good. You can't forget to focus on yourself. Here's a hint. In order for things to potentially work, you need to figure out what kind of beliefs you have in common. What do you share? A Gemini has so many things that they want to try and they want to learn. If either one of you say the wrong thing, then chaos erupts. All it takes is that one thing that one of you forgot to tell the other one, or even just one little comment. With your love, it's like anything can be a trigger. The best times you both have are when you're out, like on vacation, away from your lives. That's how you're gonna survive. You need to take trips or get out of your lives for a second. Go out in nature, use the external forces around you. Just go out in nature. Because external forces in your life, like your work or your social statuses, or even just taking care of the bills, is really going to take a toll on your relationship. So it's really important that you find a way to get away and get out. Take a step back. Just go on a hike or something. Maybe use your cousin's beach house. There is a lot of sexual tension in this relationship. There's usually a lot of flirtation involved. You need to try to keep your feelings in check. Try to focus on some self-exploration. You need to figure out why you're fighting, what's really going on. Maybe seek a therapist. When you're triggered, it's just so easy to react, but you have to learn to think before you act when you're around them. Ask yourself, is this really worth it? What am I gonna get out of acting this way? This is going to be a very fun match, but it can be pretty messy. You both have a very different way of going about things, and this is going to make your love life very difficult. The Gemini will have a really interesting perspective. It's very charming to you when you're together. You're both very persuasive to those around you. You're going to need to learn to chill out. Romance is very important to you. When they can't stop talking or they're always on, it might make you start to doubt how attracted you really are to them. You guys can be friends, but you have to understand it's mostly because there are traits that you see in them that you realize you share as well, even though they might not see it. Geminis always have the best ideas and suggestions. You Aries Taurus Cuspers are stubborn. Sometimes you need to take a moment. You don't like being pressured, and you put your foot down when they try to hurry you. A Gemini knows how to entertain you, how to soothe your worries, how to amuse you, because there are times when you're going to be down, and a Gemini knows how to take your mind off of whatever plagues you. Together you can make a difference. This is a very rebellious relationship. You have the power to bring people to your side. You know how to convince people. There is definitely a spark, and it is usually very quick to flicker out. Gemini may come across as a little shallow. You may feel like you're on your own in marriage. When it comes to the practical things like paying the bills, it may seem like they're not capable of taking care of it, and they leave it up to you. But Gemini has a lot of tricks up their sleeve. They're actually very self-sufficient, even if it doesn't seem like it. You like to take your time to enjoy things, and Gemini definitely works at a different speed. You might not like having to keep up with all their desires. Geminis are very quick thinkers, and they get things done right away, like very quickly. Gemini will see themselves in you. They are very versatile. They do have an introverted side, and they understand your dark side. They may not act that way around you. They'll leave you to balance them out. You'll really like how this relationship makes you feel attractive and seductive. Your charisma will amplified. amplified. This is a crazy emotional roller coaster ride. This is a very passionate, romantic relationship with many ups and downs. But honestly, platonic relationships are probably the best way to go here. This relationship can go on for years and years, even if like the Gemini is cheating on the Aries Taurus. And in the back of your mind, like you know that they're cheating, but you don't want to face the truth. It's easier than to disrupt everything that you have. And you might kind of be in denial, but you'll know deep down. I'm not saying this always happens, but it's really common for this relationship to go on for a really long time, and the Gemini will juggle two relationships. They're very good at hiding. With the Gemini, the more you feel rushed or pressured, the more you'll stand your ground. The more stubborn you'll be. You like doing things at your own pace. The Gemini is really not going to appreciate that. It will definitely irritate them. The Gemini will often find you more dependable, and they really like how down to earth you are. And you're pretty good at advice, and they really don't mind sharing the spotlight with you. You both exude a confidence. When you guys fight, the consequences of your fight usually appear much later. Your relationship can feel very one-sided. Geminis usually take so much more love from you than they give. And just because a Gemini has made a commitment to you, Aries Taurus Cuspers, doesn't mean that if you sin or you just kind of stop caring about them, that they won't have an affair. A Gemini can get really irritated with how much time you are taking. When you're building a family together, you're definitely the one who oversees things, and they're the ones who make the changes. and they come up with like really creative parenting ideas. You really like things the way they are at first. But when things start changing and the relationship fluctuates, that's when you're like, no, I don't like this anymore. It does not take much for you to get under each other's skin. No matter how nice you're trying to be, or even if you're just trying to get along, even if you're not trying to upset the other person, it's just so easy to get under each other's skin and irritate one another. Unfortunately, you will find yourself being more of the giver in the relationship. It will feel exhausting, like you're not really getting as much in return. At first, it might feel like the Gemini is looking up to you and that they appreciate you, but they're also prepared for you to betray them. And that's something that they have to work on. Like, they should just be able to trust you and put you on a pedestal. You can give them what they want. And it's flattering, but when they don't trust you, it's confusing. And things can get really bad for your relationship. You get so stubborn that it makes you slightly passive aggressive. It's just your reaction. It's not like you're purposefully trying to get under their skin. When it comes to power, they like it a lot. And the Gemini often has a really good idea. So if you want to make things better, you have to be more open. And you might even volunteer to try to get things going. Communication is important. And in this relationship, you both will suck at it. You'll suck at saying what you really mean. Try to be compassionate and put yourself in their shoes. You'll find that a Gemini is very entertaining. Their projects, their life, how they spend their time, it really keeps you on your feet. You can get rowdy with your Gemini. You have a very direct approach to dealing with like the bad stuff. And the Gemini will actually really appreciate it. You might find yourself being like a self-martyr a lot. Geminis are very impulsive. They know how to handle things in a very pleasant way. But when you fight, they can be very critical. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that it was helpful to you if you are a Gemini or if you're born on the cusp of Aries and Taurus. Or just talk to me about it. I would love to know your thoughts. Have you ever dated one another? Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Please subscribe to my channel. You guys are amazing.